Okay, check this out. So I pay $20 a month for ChatGPT, which means that I can use Codex CLI, and I've been using it. Oopsie, stop listening. Yeah, I do that at work all the time. Talk to text, voice control, baby. Anyway, I'm on 5.3 Codex Extra High, and I use it all the time, and I'm not running into threshold limits because I'm only like using this in my free time anyway. So I have what is it? I've got term 2 running like Codex, and then I have just like a regular terminal over here. I was working on turning it into a web project, and I kind of left that alone. But I've got like a web project here that turns my Markdown documents into a website. But that's I'm kind of leaving that at the wayside at the moment. But I standard Git right here, so I've got like over the last 5 days, I've done a lot, right? So I've got this all in source control on Git, which means that I can actually download it onto my iPad, and it's all my whole D&D world is running in Obsidian Markdown, right? So over here, for example, I've got the adventure that my players are currently trying to go through, and a lot of this is actually generated with artificial intelligence skills. So for example, this is like a data view query. Obsidian Markdown has a plugin called Obsidian.md has a plugin called Data View, which lets you run DSL type languages? No, that's not the right word. Well, it's a query language, Data View. I forget the term for the generic term for query languages, but you can run generic queries, and it actually supports JavaScript as well. So if I maybe look at this, no, that one's not JavaScript, that one's not Java, but I have some very complex ones. And so anyways, if I go over to like the index of my actual adventure here, you can see I have this map here. And so this is a plugin called Leaflet, and I can actually go to like full screen and zoom in. And I use an artificial intelligence skill where I fed in a graph consisting of edges. Sorry, well, I don't know what the term is in computer science terms, but it's essentially a collection of points and then a description of the path, the edge that connects those points, because not all edges are the same in the graph that I'm building. I don't know the computer science term for a graph where the edges have their own unique properties, but the edges have their own unique properties, and so we can see here that there's like a legend. And so the way that I've had the AI skill work, it's just a big Python program that I wrote by supervising the AI. I'm using Cairn 2nd edition rules, and so here, let me actually just get out of here, and let me, so if I scroll up here, I actually have a link to open it in a web browser, and that's going to not open in a web browser. That's really annoying. The default program, I thought I set it to open with a web browser, but it's not. But if I just say open with, yeah, I need to figure out how to change the default. But let's just open this with Google Chrome. So I actually figured out how to embed JavaScript inside of SVGs. And so what I can do is I can actually, so this is just CSS right now. These are distance markers that I had the Python program programmatically calculate. So there's a bug where the distance between here isn't listed, but like let's try this one over here. We can, and I converted the units to minutes. So I basically told the program, I want you to calculate the average distance of every path on the map, and then the average, we will say that is equal to 1 and 60 minutes. So on average, if the players were to traverse every path on here once, which I don't know if that's possible actually, because if they were to go to like 10H, for example, they'd have to go back and then perpendicularly take one of these cross intersections, but it would be number of hours equal to the number of paths that there are. Anyway, let's say that when the players are traveling from like 03M, and this is from Cairn 2nd edition, an indie TTRPG that draws inspiration from Knave and I think Old School Essentials. Old School Essentials just is editorial pass over Basic Expert from like 1970 or 1980. Anyway, so the nodes here from Cairn 2nd edition for this forest crawl, which is basically like a point crawl dungeon in the forest that uses dungeon turns, but outdoor with a wilderness events table instead of a dungeon events table. Anyways, so 03M, that's monster, hazard. Shelter means it's safe and the players can actually sleep there, I think. I need to double check the rules, but they should be able to long rest there. Ruins, hazard. Looks like we have multiple monsters on this one. That's exciting. And so anyways, the slashes mean conditional, which means that the players, they will encounter something, some kind of puzzle that they have to think about to go across this, and it'll cost them either resources or time. And I've just personally decided that if it's going to cost them time, it'll cost them an extra 10 minutes, but I might rethink that in the future. Because I'm running 5th edition, there's 8 hours in an adventuring day before you start accruing fatigue, well, exhaustion levels. So I've gamed it. I've decided for my own personal rules that it'll always take like an hour. Although I averaged it, and I gave and you can see the minutes that it takes here. But on average, for the other forest crawl that I'm currently running, the players haven't made it to this one yet. On all of the paths just take an hour, and the players haven't really like looked at me and said that doesn't make sense, because in reality it wouldn't make sense if everything was equidistant. But anyway, I keep track of the time, and every hour I roll a random event table. And when they get to the nodes, if they want to perform any actions, then it takes 10 minutes. So the nodes are doing 10 minutes, which is dungeon turns. The paths are on average an hour, which takes wilderness forest crawl turns. And then I added some features. I thought, well, like, what if I want to just, what if I actually want to turn this into a deliverable that I can print out and give to my players? So what I can do is I can hide all that stuff, and let's bring that back. Actually, let's see, hide distances, hide. Oh, so let's say they only discovered a few of these, right? So I can actually hide these, and this is using JavaScript. Okay, so let's say they didn't get that one, and let's just, and I have a bug right now. This is like an orphaned node, so I don't know what I want to do with orphaned nodes, but what I can do is then I hide everything. And then I actually can print this out and give it to the players. Now, yet still, I want to develop a fog of war feature so that this stuff is kind of covered up, because it wouldn't really make sense. They'd be like, oh, I wonder what's over there, But it's a work in progress, and if I refresh it, right, I get everything back, right? And it's an SVG, so it's cool. It's a picture, and so that means that even though it has JavaScript and CSS, I can put it in here. Now, the leaflet plugin here, this is pretty neat. I can actually click and be like, you know what? I want to go here. Now, I put the thing down here, so we're in N09R, and I have a data view query here, which, oh, come now, why is it not? There we go. Yeah, so I have a data view query here that's actually looking at the vertexes, or rather, well, I don't know if it's a vertex. It's nodes, it's edges and vertexes. Yeah, so there's not the vertices, but I have these files that just contain like 2 nodes and a path, and so this data view query just looks at those files associated with the node, which I have all the YAML front matter. These are all tags that are hidden in here, and I use these for my data view queries and other things. And so like I decided I wanted a different wilderness event table for every single node and every single path. So I have artificial intelligence generate that by using a template. But that is like a separate file, and it gets included, and Obsidian lets you include files inside of files, and so this is this is what's known as a transclusion, where you just embed another file using the exclamation mark, and it actually embeds that there. Something I did is I actually made it so if I click this, I'll roll it, and oh, there's an error. Looks like I need to install a MetaBind plugin. Okay, this one isn't going to work either. But this is actually programmable, so it modifies state in the document store itself. And when I roll a hazard or a trap, it's actually going to add a tag here, and then there's a data view query that runs right here. And if the tag is present, it will look in the associated hazards or traps table, and it will show it. And so I'm actually surprised. I thought I had MetaBind. Yeah, MetaBind's enabled, so I don't know. Maybe I need to do this. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Let me try that one more time. Plugin template or Obsidian is required, but not installed. Template or Obsidian. let's see if I have template or obsidian. Oh, I don't actually have. Oh, I do have Oh, it's off. Why was it off? Goodness. Okay, let's see if this works now. Oh, cool. So I rolled the hazard. It said I rolled the hazard. There we go. And now it's showing up. So threaded spores that drop. So definitely I have to do some improvisation, but I'm taking improvisational comedy classes. I've been doing that for over half a year, so I can definitely look at this and be like, all right, I can turn this into a hazard. So I'll just let's see, how do I get rid of hazard? I think I have to delete the tag. So let's see, hazard. Ah, here it is. No, there should be a roll. What was it? 13? I forgot. The traps has a way to get rid of the trap, but let's see. 13. Do I see 13 in here? Oh, there it is. So I deleted the tag, and now the hazard's gone. And that will get saved to source control, actually. So if I actually go over here and I say, like, get status, that we can see there's, like, these guys. Okay. But let's say I roll a trap. Okay, so now if I type get status, I guess it's already showing changes here. So I can cycle through the different traps, and I programmed all of this. This is using JavaScript. So JavaScript inside of Obsidian. So if I actually, oh boy, what is the file? I forget. I have to go into edit mode, and then, yeah, here we go. Oh, that's not even JavaScript. Are you kidding me? Let's try this. Cycle selected trap. Let's see what that is. Cycle selected trap. There we go. So this is JavaScript. So you can actually embed JavaScript inside of Obsidian for data view queries, as well as for templater metabind plugin here. And then you can have templater metabind plugin, like this is the templater metabind plugin, and then I have a data view query. Oh, that data view query is also doing JavaScript. So anyways, right now I've got the map embedded. I have a script that automatically reads in the SVG, figures out the coordinates of the nodes, and then superimposes the Obsidian leaflet pins over the SVG. That's all done by Python. And then, oh boy, what was it? I feel like there's more yet still I want to do, but essentially all I have to do is feed in a list of nodes and edges, and I have a Python program that will automatically create the graph. And then I have another Python program that will automatically create the map. And then I have another Python program that will automatically create the pinpoints and set up the links. So what am I in right now? N09R? Okay. So if I look at this map and I'm like, where's N09R? Right there. Yeah. So the players say, oh, we want to go south. And I'll be like, okay, you go to 10H. Now, if they were going to be on that path for like an hour, or it was a hidden path or conditional path, I'd actually look at the path file. And you can see here that, like, we were looking at 09, right? So it says that it can, this particular path connects 09 to 10H and 09 to 08, right? So if we actually look at the map now, 09 to 10H, 09 to 8H, but it doesn't connect to 7S because 7S actually is connected with a different path, which is a hidden path. We can see here it's hidden, and it's a game trail. So because it's hidden, it costs an extra cycle to find it, which means an extra hazard die roll, which means it could be an encounter, a 1 in 6 chance of being an encounter. In which case, if there was an encounter, I would pick one of the creatures here, or maybe I might do ants, depending on how I'm running this dungeon, because I'm kind of having ants be like a constant threat all the time everywhere with the whole ant smoke, like basically smoke that drives away bugs mechanic that I've been playing around with. Oh, I forgot to say that, right, so I have all of the legend here with like CSS, with hide and show, etc. So it's just very cool. I'm really enjoying using Obsidian. I really like my indexes. So like the Gilded Tusk Expedition index, it's got like everything here. Like all of the nodes are listed here, all of the paths are listed here, some of my rules in case I forget. There's a companion file which is uh, it's easy. It's more like prep-y. It's more for prepping. Um, and so I'll often have like a running it at the table index file. So like over here, I have my HHF index. This one is the one that the players are currently on, and you can see there's it's all kind of like a work in progress. So there's a lot of stuff here that I'm going to be changing as I'm still figuring out how I want to. I'm still figuring out how exactly I want to structure everything. It's like an evolving process, but it's going well. And let's just click through here and see, if any of these have like a trap or a hazard. So far, no. I think I statistically told the program that generated these I don't want that many traps or hazard. So, but I have to do a quality assurance pass and see if I never actually had even a single trap or hazard, because it looks like I might not have ever actually done a trap or a hazard. So uh, I think it's like a 1 in 6 chance of the room or place being trapped, etc. I have to look at my Old School Essentials book. I'm using Old School Essentials for dungeon stocking. I'm using Cairn 2nd edition for like what kind of node is it? How do I do forest crawls and dungeon turns? I'm using Old School Essentials for like how much treasure should be where. Wandering monsters have a 50% chance of having treasure. Of course, it's a 5th edition game. Anything else that I want to show? If I go over to let's see, Trailing Tail, Hunting Camp, then I have an index for the town. We've got like rooms, and I guess I put the edges there, and I could do like Outlet City. So right here. And it's got a list of businesses. So this is just simply a file with like building and outlet. And so this is just an index that it goes and it looks, hey, does it have outlet and building? So the name of the town is Outlet, and it's a building, and it's the Tower Worlds project. So with this simple query, I can actually just get a list of all of the businesses or buildings inside of a city. And that's also how I. Oh, speaking of that. Oh, this one should be showing up there too. Oh, yep, there it is. Yep, because I decided there should be real estate agents in a bank. Why not? I've got my Adventurers Guild here. There's like a transclusion, so I've got like a job board because my friends like anime job board stuff. So I was like, yeah, I'll have a job board. Something else I like to do is I like to have a brainstorming document, a recap document, and a script document. So this is my current brainstorming document. I just have things in here. I've got like a to-do list down here. Oh, I need to say that this one's taken care of. Yep. Oh, do I need to go into edit mode? Come on. There we go. Cool. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember how much they're getting paid. This needs to be a real dungeon. There needs to be hazards and traps. I need to what else do I need to do? Oh, I need to make some extra dungeons. Should I make a skill or should I use a tool? Things like that. And something I like to do is I like to have navigation. So not only will I have embedded transcluded indexes that are data view queries, but I'll also often put like uplinks. So up, and then we're in the Heisen region, which is like the island, and I go up and it's just like a general meta Tower of Worlds thing with like my game master index and kind of stuff for my own edification. So yeah, by using lots of plugins and artificial intelligence and my programming know-how, it's really rewarding to be making this game that kind of just plays itself as long as I prep stuff, which that's an oxymoron.